Hello and welcome to the Internet Business School Surgery session 27 with myself, Roger Norris from the Internet Business School. Hope you're all well. Thanks for being here live. And if you're catching up on the YouTube, fantastic. There's lots of good value going on there at the Ultimate Business System YouTube channel where you can catch up with all these replays. I generally put the new lesson replays up onto the YouTube channel on a Friday afternoon around about midday London time. But if you like and subscribe as ever, you get notified when the new videos drop. Okay, so today what I'm going to do is carry on from the last couple of weeks when I was on. We were talking about setting up domain email addresses and then sort of creating your Ultimate Business System account. And I've been demoing it with my own domain, which is the aibizconsultant.co.uk. And today, what I wanted to do was move on to setting up my website for the inside the Internet Business System. Okay, so I imagine quite a few of us have made websites in the past, and they tend to be pretty technical. And you might have done it through Shopify or Weebly or Wix. There's a whole ton of website builders out there. Some which are simple and some which are more complicated. And they all come with sort of price differentials as well. The more traditional way of building a website that we've always taught is using WordPress. So that's when you have to get your domain name and you then buy some hosting. So you get something like this in Crystal Hosting, and you get a control panel, and then you have to take your control panel, which has got loads of different settings on that are really scary, and 95% of people probably haven't got a clue which any of them do. What AW stats and SSO, oh no, it's all a bit scary. And then you have to, when you're ready to do a website, you have to go down and you have to install WordPress, and you have to make sure that you install WordPress.org and not WordPress.com, and it's all sort of messy. And once you've installed WordPress, you get a WordPress admin dashboard. Okay, this is a site that I had for my wife, and let's just have a look at the dashboard. And you get all this complicated stuff about adding plugins and setting everything up and updating stuff all the time. And it gets really quite burdensome. And that's before you get to try and build the website and have a website theme. So you might then have to go off to somewhere like Theme Forest and buy a WordPress theme. And some of them are getting quite expensive now, $39, $48, $12, $19. They all add up. And then you have to install that theme. And it's just like, there's so many moving parts. It's crazy. And it's all messy. So what we're going to do today with Internet Business System is get rid of all of that. We don't need the cPanel. Okay, we don't need that complicated WordPress dashboard. Gone. Okay, we don't really need hosting, okay, because that's done for us inside of Ultimate Business System. Okay, so all the technical stuffs are out the window, and we don't need any of these themes. So we're going to keep it really simple instead. So the first thing that we're going to do, and I did this already when I was in the email management side of stuff when we were looking at the domain emails, is I set up my domain inside of Ultimate Business System, and I set up all my sort of DNS settings. Okay, so I think this is something that Vish went through in lesson 16. Lesson 16 comes to mind, where he connected a domain name to your sub account profile. Okay. And all I've got, the only cost I've got with this is with the domain so far. Okay. So that's like, what, £10 a year? Dead easy. Okay. So if you go back to that lesson 16, that will show you about connecting the domain. Okay. Now, once we've got the domain connected, we're able to then start thinking about creating a website. And unlike all that sort of traditional WordPress muck and glory that has to be very technical, all we're going to do is we're going to go to this site section in your um, dashboard, and then we can click on websites. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to click to add a new website. And you can either go from a blank website here, or you can choose from one of the more than 1,000 free templates that are included in the platform. Okay, so I would always do this from a template because it saves so much time. And then you get this whole big list of templates. Actually, it says here it's 590 templates. I wonder what that is. Front page says 1,000. Here it says 590, but it's still a lot of templates. A lot of templates. Now, each of these templates do different jobs, and they've got different pages involved in them. Okay, so I'm just going to open up the first one here. And this is for an assisted living facility. And it's got the front page above the fold here already set up. And it's got the different sections of the website. Okay, wellness, community, medication. Okay, how to learn more about them. There'll probably be some stuff about their team and images and pricing plans, some reviews, an FAQ section, and a take action section, schedule a tour, and then all the footer stuff down here. Okay, so actually this template's already got all those other pages built into it as well. So you can go to the about section and services and the contact section as well. And it's got a book now button. So this is a pre-made template. And so this would be great if you were running an assisted living facility, but you're probably not. But you might be a real estate attorney or an appliance repair or an investment advisor, an IT advisor. I mean, there's loads and loads and loads of these different templates that have been built and constructed in different ways to suit different business needs. Okay. So your job when you're trying to find a template that suits your business is how to it's going to be how to refine what you need on your website. Okay. Now you can use all the filters down the side. Okay, so if we wanted to look at what all the beauty and fashion templates were, we can narrow things down. Okay. Um, you can actually then go onto let me get rid of that beauty and fashion. Okay, there's loads of them: travel and hospitality, medical, marketing agency, insurance, home services. Um, you can search for it by keyword as well, and that goes through into this little tag section. Well, it's not little, it's big. There's loads and loads of different tags to cover all of the 590 templates. Okay. Um, and then you can try and narrow it down to the one that you kind of like and prefer. Right, but that's still a big job because you might be looking at one of these templates. Okay, so let's just preview this template as well for a title company protecting your property. Now, what I'm looking for, what I've been looking for when I'm looking through these templates is absolutely nothing to do with the colors, the pictures, the font. Okay, I'm not interested in any of that because all of that can be changed. Okay, what you're actually better off considering what's going to work better for you is the structure of how the pages are built. In WordPress, they're kind of called wireframes, how the individual sections of the website link together. So you might want, if you wanted a website that had a big video splash up at the top, you might want a bigger title up here, and then the headline being a bit further down. Um, if you wanted to have something that raised all the benefits of your business straight away in one big splash, you might want to choose one of the uh, websites that gives you that facility. Okay. So don't worry at all about colors and images. Okay. It's just about whether the structure of how the where the words are placed is something that you can work with and adapt. Now, once I'll show you, once we get onto actually installing the website, you can then go through and change any of these. You can swap sections out and swap sections in. Okay. Actually, Michael just asked a relevant question. He said, with these pre-made templates, is there a likelihood that someone else will have a similar site look and feel? Well, there is a potential likelihood if someone just took any one of these templates and did very little with it. If they just changed the words, um, and the odd picture, it's going to have a similar feel. Okay, but if you go in and do some deeper changes in like changing the font and moving some of the layout around, you just kind of make it your own. So these templates just act as a good starting point for your website. Okay, and depending on your choice, getting a good choice of a template is going to save you tons of time later on. Okay. So it's a really important thing just to take the time to choose the right one that you enjoy, that pings to you as well. Okay, you got to like your website, haven't you? Chances are, if you like your website, then your customers are as well, unless you've got horrible taste and choose terrible colours. Um, then good on you. I think there are actually some websites out there that deliberately choose terrible fonts and colors just to try and stand out. Okay. But yeah, if I'm looking at something for a AI business consultant, okay, I'm going to start with let's just choose the right keyboard for my. I'm just going to filter this by consultant. And that brings me down to sort of 29 different templates. Okay, and this I've got the investment advisor, IT advisor, wedding consultant, financial consultant, a business coach. That's probably quite a good call. Okay, so let's just preview the business coach one. Okay, so I'm looking at the structure of it. Okay, so this has got home, it's got events, it's got blogs and resources, media, pages set up, um, contact. It's got a big book now button up here. It's got a little bit of movement on it as well, which I always like. We've got some big metrics, story behind who we are, working together on courses. Okay, that could be useful for the AI business coach, like this as well. A nice bit of sort of dynamism on the page. Okay, some sections that I'd have to take out and tweak. But yeah, it kind of works, doesn't it? Okay, and we've got event pages, blogs, media. Yeah. Now, once you've identified the right theme, actually, let me just you can view this as a tablet form as well, and as well as how it's going to appear on a phone. So that's useful to understand. Once you've got that template nailed down, all we're going to do is choose this template. Okay, and it's going to take all those template pages and add it to your account. Da, da, da. It's like, how easy is this compared to doing something on WordPress? It's crazy. Right. So now I've got um, my template installed. Um, I've got a standard sort of page builder here. So I'm moving my cursor around and it's bringing up the different uh, words on here so I can make myself um, a logo to go in. I can change all the titles and wordings, change where the get in touch button's going and view courses, change images. Okay. And it's just going through all those bits one by one to build them up. Okay. But we're going to come back to the sort of page builders um, in and to go through them a little bit more depth, probably another time. Okay. Because we at the moment we've just installed a domain. Okay. We haven't. We've just installed this WordPress, this website template, but we haven't actually made it live in any way. And you can see up here, there's a button that says connect domain. Because at the moment, right now, if I go to aibizconsultant.co.uk, it just brings up a 404. So I haven't made a live website there as well. So that's something that we've got to overcome. At the moment, I could leave it blank for a while longer until I've made a bit more of the website. But let's just show you the process of connecting this domain. Okay, so there's a nice button here that says connect the domain. So I better click that then. Now this comes in here because I've already set up that domain in the settings section and added all the DNS. It's there ready for me to go to connect to a website. And I'm just going to click that one and press save. Okay. And that is going to, let's just see what that's done, see if there's any more steps in the process. Okay, so I'm just refreshing that. Okay, nothing's happened. Okay, that's cool, not a problem. Because there's still some steps in the process because, let me just do up here in the top right-hand corner, there is a blue button that says publish. Okay, so that is one to press. It's now published. If I go to here again, let's just see what that's done. Okay, still nothing. Okay. Oh, what could we have done? Okay, don't worry, I know what we've still got to do. That was just for dramatic show. Uh, okay, let me just drop out of that site. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the this is the overview of the website now with all the different pages that I've installed straight away from that new theme. Okay, so they're all sitting there waiting for me to go through them and fill them all out. But if I go to the settings section, okay, this is where I'm going to add some extra stuff to the site. Okay, so I'm going to overwrite this and go I'm a business consultant for the name of the website. That's the connected domain. That's fine. There's the path to the sort of home page. This is later on, I could put in tracking cookies as well for things like if you've got sort of Facebook or Meta ads tracking, this is where you would put them in, or if you've got things like Google Analytics, you can add in the extra code here. I can put a favicon URL in as well. So the favicon is the little bit of image that appears up at the top of the board. So we can just create an image later on, put it into our media storage, and then get a URL that links through in here that will apply the little image up at the top. We can add in chat widgets later on, and then you could add things like payment modes and credit cards, toggle these on and off. Okay. Um, if you want the GDPR compliant fonts, then you can click on that button. Okay, so that's kind of going through quick and dirty through the settings menu. Okay, and save that one. Okay. Duh, duh, duh. What I've got to define is the website home page. All right, and that's the bit that is missing. Okay. Duh, duh, duh. Oh, I found all this the other day. No problem at all. Let's see where I've got to. So this is um, AI. This is the back into the domain section. Okay, and this is the redirect to the website. Duh, duh, duh. Just jumps out to another page. This might just take me out to the builder again. Let's just take me out to the settings menu. Okay, where was that pages thing? Okay, I've got a bit that connects things sets things to the home page. Okay, home settings. That is the nested path. Not a problem. Okay. Well, this is a bit confusing. I did this the other day prepping for it. No problem at all. Everything came up in all the right way. Okay. And something I'm missing something from the live setup. Okay, to be able to define a home page. Okay, but hey, it's not a problem because I can call on the help of AI if ever I get stuck while setting this up. Okay, now you have got all the options of emailing the defined help team. Okay, but they're not necessarily going to be online straight away to get you a reply. Okay, so let's just, they're well worth going through. But if you want to get something done quick, then AI is a really good way of moving yourself forward. Okay, so which one we're going to use? ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude? Hey, it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's just go to ChatGPT. I have actually, let me just do it with dictation. I have a Go High Level sub account under the domain name of aibusinessconsultant.co.uk. I've just installed a website theme into my sub account, and I've already connected the domain DNS. Okay, but the website is still showing a 404. I need to find the right place to define what the home page is for the website. Can you point me in the right direction inside my Go High Level dashboard, please? Okay, so we just pop that away into ChatGPT. This is the new version of ChatGPT that is just updated to ChatGPT 5.4. So it is a bit faster and a little bit more fluent in terms of its language. Okay, so 404 means the domain is connected, but no page or funnel step has been designed. So we want to go sub account sites, websites, look for the pages links, find the page you want as home, three dots set as home page. If you installed it as a funnel instead of a website, okay, not a problem. Also check domain assignment. Okay. So not a problem. Okay, so we just work through things one at a time. Okay. Okay, let's just Before I do this, search the Go High Level help pages first for advice. Okay. I'm going to set this off because sometimes AI kind of makes up some assumed answers. I wouldn't say that it's making up rubbish. It's just going, oh, this is the most likely problem. So if I send it off to look inside the Go High Level help pages for me, it will find the exact settings. Okay. All right. So we need to go site settings domain. Yeah. Okay. So it goes, go back to here, sites, settings, and then domain. Okay. And we've got the right domain connected. Correct. Okay. And there should have a configure button. There we are. That's Max. Just, I don't know whether Max is listening in and going, "Oh, this is how you do it." He was just phoning me. I don't think he is. All right. If he is, just send me a message, Max. You should know that I'm on the webinar because he organises everything. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Where's this gone to? Um, there should be. There's no three dots in here. Okay. Let's go out of there because it's not in there. That's no problem. Let's just go to funnels as well. That shouldn't be in there either. Domains connected for email website. Okay, let's just go here. Right. There we go. Okay. Let's just edit that. Okay, right, here we go. This is where we got to assign the home page. Okay, so it's in the domain section. So the home page of the website is, I'm going to set it to home. You can set up a default 404 page. Okay, so if someone can't find that page on the site, it's going to take them to the home bit. And you can add something called robot text. Okay, so don't need to worry about that quite yet. That's something the way you could. There's lots of sort of AI bots and website bots that go through crawling the internet to look at pages and indexing. Okay, and you can add some code in there that blocks some of these. Okay, right. So that's the one that I needed to sort. All set, all set, all set. Okay, so I found this from in the settings menu, domains and URL redirects, and then looking at the website settings in here. Okay. Then in theory, if I refresh this, aibusinessconsultant.co.uk goes to our template website. Okay. And apart from that little, where is that setting gone to? It's really, really quite easy once you can find out where all these buttons are. Okay. And I don't mind that I had a bit of a struggle finding the right place because this is it's a big software suite. There's lots of things in there. Okay. But the fact is that we've got the support behind it to help push you in any direction to resolve any issue. Two, you've got AI who can more quickly point you to solve any issue. And it means as an entrepreneur, you can push forward really quickly with overcoming hurdles and getting a site. Okay, so but literally in 10 minutes, I've got from having no website connected. I've chosen my the theme that I like, and I've got a website out in the world. Okay. Yes, at the moment it's not linked through to all the things that I want it to do. Okay, but at least the domain is up and running, and now it's just a case of going through and changing the pages one by one. Okay. So we might want to then go back to the website itself. Okay, and move things around a little bit. Okay, so let's just go to sites, websites. Okay, so at the moment there's 10 pages on there. And there's 10 pages that I haven't got all set up yet. Okay, so let's just do media press settings. Okay. I could just remove this path so that page doesn't work, or I could just delete that page entirely. Okay, I'm unlikely to need a media press page. Okay, well, let's get rid of that one. Okay, I can always add another page later on if I wanted to. All right, but I'm definitely going to need some of these other things. Okay, the book now button. Okay, let's just have a look at the contact page, because that's kind of like the first thing we want people to be able to actually reach out and get to you. Let's just click on that book now button. So we can change all the colors and the fonts as well. And that's not a problem. Okay, website page, book now. We can go in and we can change any of the sort of telephone numbers. Oh, there's a form in here as well. We can select a form, not a problem. Okay. So we can just move around all the pages and change things around. Let me just save where I'm going on. Show settings. Oh, I'm in the forms bit now. I don't want the forms bit. Okay. Subtext, font, letters. Where's the actual action for it gone? No, one. It's got animations in there as well. Da, da, da. I might get Max to do this section of actually building out the pages, because he's been doing it day in, day out, all the time, with building sort of sales pages and things like that. So I'm do all the sort of techie stuff about getting things online, and then he makes them all look pretty. Okay. Oh, let me just put a quick edit in here, because sometimes when you're online and in the midst of a webinar, you kind of miss things staring at you. So just what I was looking for at that point was the action button on the book now. And look, I went straight past it. It's the link to bit. Okay, so you can link that book now button straight through to an email address or to a page. Okay, so you can link it to the page and link it to the book now form on this website. Okay, and that's how you can sort of change things around with that button. So if you wanted to make it a call, then you could click on this call and put your telephone number in. Then it would call that number or send a text message, email address, anything like that. Okay, so that's where the control is. Okay, so sorry for the rambling. Okay, back to the rest of the lesson. So in terms of getting a website from zero through to online, okay, it's all there done pretty quickly. Um, we can add other pages in here if you wanted to add something bespoke. Okay, you can just uh, add in. Let's just put a. Um, I've moved to a different keyboard again. Right. So if I wanted a page that just said consultant, okay, then you could add that in straight away, or I could add it as a nested path. Okay, so a nested path is at the moment on the website itself. Okay, we've got home, event, blog, resources. But if I wanted a sub page under one of these, okay, I could add a nested sub menu under one of these. So let's just do that under event. Okay. And there is a whole help document on that one as well, which tells you exactly how to do it. So I would do, here's a marketing / about. Okay. So if I wanted this as a sub page under about, I would do / about / consultant. Okay. You can import funnels from ClickFunnels as well. Okay. So this is now the new page. And on the website, let's just have a look on the website, / this. Okay. There should be, actually, I haven't published it yet, have I? Duh. I haven't published a page. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay. I don't want to import from another website. Let's just create from blank. Okay. You would just fill out a page and have that underneath that site. Let's just put something very quickly in. No problem. And test page, publish it. If I've read that right, then I should be able to get a page under here. Max is messaging me as well. He's probably watching. Oh no, it's about email marketing. Something completely different. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do actually, because I'm not I hate making websites. I really do. I detest them. Um, Max is the guy who is really good at doing all this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass over the actual sort of sales page and website builders to him. He comes to me with all the questions about how does this fit together and how does this work, and I go to him with everything else. Okay. But what I wanted to kind of overcome is that actually getting a site live on Go High Level is, or in the Ultimate Business System, is really quick and easy. And then it's just learning these sort of page builders. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to get Max to go through that because he's the whiz, and I might have to watch him to see what he does. Definitely. Okay, right. That's all I wanted to cover in this sort of first section because we just want to break it down into into little bite-sized segments. Okay, and make it easy when you're going through sort of following through step by step, setting up your platform. Okay. Um, if I was going to make this easier as well in the future, in my AI Insiders Club, training that will be, I might need to put in the Zoom link for it to the group, but that will be next Monday. I've been using the new Claude to the Claude AI from Anthropic, the one that President Trump doesn't like anymore. But God, I love it. Okay, I've been using it to uh, act as an agent to set up the sort of things on my website and in WordPress websites. And I've given it instruction and it gets on and does it almost autonomously on its own. So I've used it to set up an entire um, new cookie system on the Internet Business School main website. And Claude was just able to go through things step by step, set up the entire plugin, draft a new cookie policy, and publish it for me all the while I was doing other stuff. It's fantastic. But that's in the AI Insiders Club. Okay. But yeah, I haven't got logged in on this computer. Okay, but if I logged into Claude, it could take over my mouse and um, work through any of these sort of settings or jobs I've got going on any bit of software, really. It figures it all out. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, that's the AI Insiders Club side of stuff. That's the sort of more in-depth AI stuff we go into. Okay, but alas, not time for it inside the Internet Business School surgery. Sorry. Okay. Right. Any questions about that process that you might have? It's all pretty straightforward. Just remember, we first start by going to the settings and setting up your DNS. Okay, so that's in lesson 16 of the training. Um, so set up the DNS. You don't have to have hosting. Okay, you just need to have the domain. Okay, once you've got that DNS set up uh, and the DNS settings are propagated, then you set your website to be live, apply the theme, set the home page and the 404, and then sit back and wait for a lesson from Max to show you how to use the page builder properly. Oh, okay. Right. Simon's asking about the YouTube link. Do we have the YouTube link? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's just bring that up here. YouTube Ultimate Business System. Okay, this is where you want to go to when all the videos are processed by me. They go into here. I've just put the link in the chat. Okay, so if you go on here as um, a member of the public, from your end of stuff, you'll see a sort of like and subscribe. Okay, and you just make sure you subscribe to the videos, like the videos. Okay, and you can watch again. Okay. Dead easy. I say they go up generally by Friday lunchtime at 1 o'clock. Okay, and we'll be on lesson 27. Um, now this is lesson 27. So yeah, it'll be 27 going onto the video, onto the channel. I might start making a separate playlist, which has got some of the sort of foundation, how would you do it, the videos. So I'll put them into sort of one group as well. Might make life a bit easier to find all those ones. Okay. That's cool. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll let you get off and enjoy the sun or get back to work. Um, nice and simple. Cool. No, Hazel, that's absolutely fine. Good. It's nice to see you, Hazel. Hope you're doing well. That's cool. Right. And next week, either uh, Vish or Max, I imagine. Um, but we will have another session. I'll try and see if we can get someone to sort of build on this. Okay, to build out a page and page builder. Okay, and then next time I'm back, we can then maybe start using AI to plan out all the content of our pages, and then start writing it for us and sort of copy and paste it in, create some images, get something up there. Okay. Um, that's cool. So I'm just building it along with you guys, really, um, and we'll take it through step by step. Lovely. Okay, I'll better go off and do some more homework, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much for your time, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day.